What's good, ladies and gents? Welcome back to MKO Boxing, aka MKO Pugilism, where we talk all things boxing. Remember to like and subscribe on YouTube, and of course, follow me on TikTok, all that good stuff. So, yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about last night's main event, which was between Jack Catterall and Regis Prograis, and this was basically to line you up for an opportunity for a world title at 140 pounds, which is super lightweight, aka light welterweight division. So yeah, overall going into this one, I was sort of expecting what happened in terms of result. A Jack Catterall win on points unanimously, and that's pretty much what happened. Um, but the fight did turn out to be overall, when you look at it, a little bit more interesting than what I was sort of expecting. I thought it might be quite a boring kind of cagey affair where Jack Catterall just sort of shuts out Regis Prograis, but no, there was quite a bit of action in there. I would say the first at least 4 rounds were kind of swinging back and forth, with I think Catterall making a better start than Prograis, and then Prograis coming back into it. And sometimes Prograis was swinging a bit, but there were certain times, I think second round, and there were other rounds there where even when Prograis kind of threw caution to the wind and sort of just let his hands go, let the wide shots go, he was scoring on Catterall and he was disturbing his construct. Prograis was able to sort of, although at the time I guess it was about even, Prograis was able to sort of draw first blood, get a flash knockdown on Jack Catterall. I mean, it wasn't a heavy knockdown, but you could sort of see that Catterall was hurt. It was one of those where, it was basically Catterall sort of, there was a punch landed, but it was more a thing where Catterall was kind of off balance at the time, and what happened is glove touched the floor. So obviously, when your glove touches the floor, even it doesn't matter what happens. If you touch down, it's going to be called a knockdown regardless, and that's how boxing works. So it's one of those where he was here and he was sort of lost his footing a bit, touched down, and then got back up. And Catterall throughout this fight was quite cautious, and both of them at times were sort of were being careful and sort of not wanting to make the first move, not wanting to make the mistake, and trying to draw mistakes out of each other. And throughout this fight, so you had Prograis. When he scored the knockdown, for me, that kind of put him in the ascendancy. That kind of meant Jack Catterall, as much as I felt, it was close, but I thought Catterall was probably in front. He had to sort of do something there to claw it back, and he did so. Later in the fight, Jack Catterall scores not one but two knockdowns in one round. I think it was the eighth round, if I'm not mistaken. He puts Prograis down, big left hand, and then puts him down again later on in the same round, just before the round ends, about 30 seconds before the bell. He puts Prograis down again with, again, good shot, I think another left hand. And yeah, Catterall fought very well in this one. And it was interesting because even when he did have Prograis down, you could see Prograis was hurt and stuff. He didn't sort of go straight after him. He kind of let Prograis get up and went back to his normal boxing. And then later, right to the end of the round, that's when he struck again, because Catterall was one of those fighters, pure boxer, a lot of the times looking for the counter and looking to really line you up perfectly for the right shot. He's not really a guy that rushes his work or sort of rushes anything, or that he very much takes his time, and then he gets you at that perfect time, and he kind of nullifies you. And yeah, as the fight wore on, after them two knockdowns, it was, Catterall clearly in front, clearly in the ascendancy. Prograis had it all to do. He had some good moments and good spots, but ultimately he just wasn't able to get to Jack Catterall effectively. I mean, he was, sort of going after Catterall, and then I think late in around the championship rounds. It must have been around, I think it was around round 9 or 10. Prograis got like an injury to one of his ankles, and so he was struggling, and he couldn't sort of nail Catterall down. He couldn't close him down, and one of the problems in this fight that Prograis was having was that he needed to go and get Catterall at certain times, but he just pretty much was a lot of the time was going after Catterall in kind of straight lines, and he didn't really cut the ring off either. And in those championship rounds, he kind of needed to corner Catterall to offload, but he wasn't able to do that. Catterall was able to sort of not erratically move, but just take those little small steps around Prograis, and it was quite low volume fight, but Catterall was able to just be that little bit more effective, and with the 2 knockdowns and everything, he was just able to sort of outbox Prograis over the remainder of the fight, and then obviously take home the decision unanimously on every judge's scorecard. It was quite a wide decision, and you got to put that down to the 2 knockdowns, because I mean, Prograis could have come closer, I suppose, if he was able to avoid them left hands and avoid getting knocked down, he could have made it a lot closer. But it turned out that it was just Catterall's night, and overall wide decision for Jack Catterall. Prograis, no disgrace really. He's still a very good fighter. Still a former world champion and everything. And in this fight, he just, as he said in the interview afterwards, he just got beat by the better man. He just got beat by the better fighter. And I think a lot of this fight comes down to the styles is what made it a lot worse for Prograis, because I think Regis Prograis would, as I said in my preview, Prograis would thrives more against pressure fighters. So if you're a pressure fighter and you're coming after Regis Prograis and you're aggressive, you're going after him, then I think that's where he thrives, because he's a good counterpuncher on the front foot. But I think if you're like Jack Catterall, who boxes and sits back and waits for that perfect opportunity, and good counterpuncher, I think that sort of fighter is kind of a kryptonite. It's kind of all wrong for Regis Prograis, although he gave a decent effort, but it was very clear victory for Jack Catterall. So we'll have to see what's next. Good fighters in that division. So let me know what you thought about Jack Catterall's performance in the comment section below. And until next time, it's MK Boxing, over and out.